Is belly fat your stubborn enemy? The one that just won't budge no matter how many diets or workout routines you try? If you've been fighting with that spare tire around your waist, I get it. You're not alone. But I'm here to tell you something. There's more to belly fat than just a few extra calories. In fact, your body might actually be working against you. So in this video, I'm going to break down what causes belly fat, explain how your body stores it, and give you strategies that work, based on how your body really works. No gimmicks, just science. Let's start by talking about the different types of belly fat. Now, not all fat is created equal. We have what's called subcutaneous fat, the fat that sits just under your skin. It's the fat that most people are worried about when it comes to aesthetics. But then there's visceral fat, which is more dangerous and stored deeper in your body. Visceral fat surrounds your organs, your liver, pancreas, and intestines. And while you can't see it, it's the type of fat that can seriously mess with your health. In fact, visceral fat is linked to a higher risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and even some cancers. You might be thinking, well, how is it that some people lose weight in certain areas faster than others? The truth is that belly fat, especially the visceral kind, is incredibly stubborn, and that's because our body has certain mechanisms in place to hold on to it, whether it's from stress, eating habits, or even lack of sleep. So when you're fighting to lose belly fat, you're not just battling calories, you're fighting your body's natural tendencies to hold on to it. Let's dive into how this actually works. It all starts with hormones. You've heard of hormones, right? They control so much of what your body does, and belly fat is no exception. First up, let's talk about ghrelin. This little hormone is often called the hunger hormone. When your stomach is empty, ghrelin levels spike, and it tells your brain, it's time to eat. This is why we feel those hunger pangs when it's time for a meal. But here's the catch. Ghrelin doesn't just get triggered by an empty stomach. It can be influenced by other things, like stress or lack of sleep. Imagine this. You're going through a stressful week at work. You're not sleeping well, maybe skipping meals here and there, and suddenly, it's like your hunger is out of control. This is where ghrelin goes into overdrive. Stress raises ghrelin levels, making you feel hungrier than you normally would. It's your body's way of telling you to eat more, almost like your body is trying to stock up for some sort of emergency. But the thing is, you're not preparing for battle. You're just trying to get through a hectic day. This is how stress and lack of sleep mess with your appetite, pushing you to eat more and often craving high-calorie foods. That brings us to cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone your body releases when you're under pressure. And when you're stressed for long periods of time, your body keeps pumping out cortisol. This leads to fat storage, especially around the belly. It's your body's evolutionary survival mechanism. When humans were under stress, like in times of famine, storing fat around the midsection helped them survive longer. But today, constant stress doesn't lead to survival. It leads to extra fat stored in the worst place possible, your belly. Not only does stress affect your hunger hormones, but it also messes with how your body handles food. When you're eating more processed foods, sugars, or even just too many carbs, your insulin spikes. Insulin is a hormone that helps regulate the sugar in your blood. It's kind of like the key that lets sugar into your cells so your body can use it for energy. But when you eat too many sugary foods or refined carbs, your body produces too much insulin, and that can make your cells resistant to it. When that happens, insulin can't get rid of the sugar in your bloodstream, so your body stores it as fat, especially around your belly. This process is called insulin resistance, and it's one of the reasons why belly fat can be so stubborn. Okay, so now we know what's going on with your hormones. But here's the good news. There are things you can do to fight back. Let's start with diet, because diet is key. But I'm not talking about some extreme fad diet. I'm talking about making smart, simple choices that actually help control your hormones, reduce stress, and keep you from storing fat in your belly. First off, you've got to cut out those refined sugars and processed carbs. These are the main culprits that cause those insulin spikes and hunger crashes. Instead, focus on eating whole foods, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Here's why that works. Whole foods, especially those rich in fiber, slow down digestion and prevent those crazy insulin spikes that lead to fat storage. Fiber-rich foods like leafy greens, berries, and legumes help you feel full and satisfied without the sugar crash that comes from eating processed foods. Here's a great way to start. Try a veggie-packed omelet or a smoothie with spinach, berries, and protein powder. That's a simple, nutrient-dense meal that will keep you feeling full without causing those insulin spikes that store fat. Protein is also key. It helps you stay full longer and gives your body the fuel it needs to burn fat. It also boosts metabolism through something called the thermic effect of food, or TEF. Simply put, your body burns more calories digesting protein than it does with carbs or fats. So when you eat protein-rich meals like chicken, turkey, tofu, or beans, you're helping your body burn more calories. Next up is exercise. Now, you've probably heard that cardio is the best way to burn fat, and while cardio is important, it's not the end-all be-all. The secret weapon here is high-intensity interval training, or HIIT. HIIT involves short bursts of high-intensity exercise followed by brief periods of rest. Studies show that this type of exercise is more effective for fat loss, especially around the belly, than steady-state cardio like running or cycling. Here's why HIIT works. When you do these intense intervals, your metabolism stays elevated for hours after you've finished working out. This means you're burning more calories even while you're resting. And if you're thinking, but I don't have time for long workouts, that's the beauty of HIIT. It can be done in 20 minutes or less. For example, 30 seconds of sprinting followed by 30 seconds of walking repeated for 15 to 20 minutes can help burn fat and get your metabolism going in no time. Now, let's not forget about the importance of stress management and sleep. I know you've heard it before, but stress really does contribute to belly fat. When you're stressed, cortisol increases, leading to fat storage. But here's the good news. Simple activities like deep breathing, meditation, yoga, or even just taking a short walk can help reduce cortisol levels and prevent fat storage. Sleep is just as important. When you're sleep deprived, your body produces more ghrelin and less leptin. Ghrelin makes you feel hungrier and leptin helps you feel full. So when you don't get enough sleep, you're more likely to overeat. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night to help balance your hunger hormones and keep cravings in check. Now, let's bring in a method that's helped countless people, breaking down the fat loss process into stages. The first stage is all about creating a manageable energy deficit. This means eating fewer calories than your body needs to burn, but without drastic cuts. You don't have to remove carbs or sugar altogether, just focus on lowering your overall calorie intake while still eating nutrient-dense foods. During this phase, your body will start shedding fat from all over, and as long as you keep protein intake high, you'll protect your muscle mass from disappearing. Next, as you get leaner and hit around 15% body fat, the second stage kicks in. At this point, your fat loss will slow down, and you'll need to get a bit more precise with your approach. This is where tracking your calories more carefully can make a big difference. And while protein is still key, you can start making adjustments to your carbs and fats to keep the fat loss going. As you approach the final stages and get closer to 10 to 12% body fat, the sacrifices start to get tougher. Your hunger levels will be higher, and maintaining muscle mass becomes more challenging. Here, you'll need to focus on high-volume foods that fill you up without taking up too many calories. This might mean making smart choices at social events or dining out, planning ahead, and making sure that every calorie counts. At this stage, consistency and discipline are everything. Ultimately, you'll have to ask yourself if going lower than 10% body fat is really worth it. For most people, staying at 12 to 15% body fat is not only sustainable but practical, and you'll still look lean and strong with great muscle definition. Now that you have a full breakdown of how belly fat works, how to combat it, and how to keep your body on track with a strategy, remember, it's not about a quick fix. It's about a lifestyle change that fits your body's natural rhythms, supports your goals, and keeps you consistent for the long haul. Thanks so much for tuning into my channel. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips, strategies, and insights into living a healthier life. I upload new videos regularly, so hit the notification bell to stay updated. And as always, Feel free to leave your questions or success stories in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you.